Number 15, people principle number 15 is the approachability principle. The approachability principle says being at ease with ourselves helps us be at ease with others. In fact, we can give no greater gift to others than putting them at ease. And the question I must ask myself is, would my friends say that I am easy to approach about difficult issues? People miss many opportunities for connection and the chance to build deeper relationships because they do not make themselves approachable. And notice that I'm purposely using the phrase, make themselves. Approachability has little to do with the other person's boldness or timidity. It has everything to do with how you conduct yourself and what messages you send to others. Years ago, I saw a piece called The Art of Getting Along, which stated, sooner or later, a man, if he is wise, discovers that life is a mixture of good days and bad, victory and defeat, give and take. He learns that it doesn't pay to be a too sensitive soul, that he should let some things go over his head like water off a duck's back. He learns that he who loses his temper usually loses out, that all men have burnt toast for breakfast now and then, and that he shouldn't take the other fellow's grouch too seriously. He learns that carrying a chip on his shoulder is the easiest way to get into trouble, that the quickest way to become unpopular is to carry tales of gossip about others, that buck passing always turns out to be a boomerang, and it doesn't matter so much who gets the credit so long as the job gets done. He learns that most others are as ambitious as he is and that they have brains as good or better, that hard work, not cleverness, is the secret of success. And he learns that no man ever gets to first base alone, and that it is only through cooperative effort that we move on to better things. He realizes, in short, that the art of getting along depends about 98% on his own behavior toward others. So how do we put people at ease? Think about all the approachable people you've ever met, and I believe you'll find that they usually exhibit the following 7 characteristics. Number 1, personal warmth. They truly like people. Christian Bovee said, kindness is a language the dumb can speak and the deaf can hear and understand. Number 2, appreciate the differences in people. Begin to appreciate what makes us different. Again, time out for a moment. Huge lesson that I had to learn. For so many years, I wanted to make people like me. And I would look and say, why aren't they like me? And why don't they think like this? And why don't they move a little faster? And this whole process of people should be like me. And I read a book, in fact, my wife and I on vacation one time read a book by Florence Littauer entitled Personality Plus. And it talked about the different temperaments of people, and it was the most eye-opening book for me. All of a sudden I thought, it's not right or wrong, it's preference. And it began to teach me to appreciate the differences of others. And what I found about people that are approachable is people that are approachable are very understanding and appreciative of the uniqueness and difference of other people. Number 3, consistency of mood. If you want to be approachable, your mood has to stay the same. Haven't we all worked with someone or for somebody that was moody? And we didn't know how to approach them, and it's kind of like, boy, I really need to ask them something, or I need to really talk to them about this project. But you go by the office and you look in, and if they seem to be having a good day, I'm going to take my shot at it right now. If they seem to have a bad day, so oops, next week. Next week. One of the greatest favors a leader can give his or her people is consistency of mood. Just be the same. And one of the things leaders have learned to do is they have learned to delay their emotions. If they're angry, they learn to delay it until an appropriate time. If they're disappointed, they have enough discipline to hold that disappointment until an appropriate time. Number 4, sensitivity toward people's feelings. Although approachable people are emotionally steady, that doesn't mean that they expect others to be that way. They recognize that other people's moods are going to be different from their own. Consequently, they tune into the moods and the feelings of others, and they quickly make adjustments to how they relate to others. They are like the captain of a sailboat who tests the wind and adjusts the sails according to the current conditions in order to get where he desires to go. Number 5, understand and expose your humanness. Ed Howe wisely advised, express a mean opinion of yourself occasionally. It will show your friends that you know how to tell the truth. I love that. Approachable people are honest about their abilities and shortcomings. They are willing to be told not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear, and they are able to laugh at themselves. They embrace the old Chinese proverb, blessed are they who can laugh at themselves, they shall never cease to be amused. Because they can admit their fault, and they don't have a problem allowing other people to have faults of their own. I was doing a conference for presidents and CEOs, and I was sharing with them that they needed to be very open to their humanness, and they needed to go back and tell their people about their weaknesses. And I could tell it really made these leaders tense up. I mean, they were really getting tense on me, taking themselves way too serious. During the break, I was signing some books, and this one president especially, I could tell he really wanted to talk to me. So I finally said, do we need to talk? He said, yes. He pulls me over in the corner. He doesn't want to talk to me in front of anyone else. And he says, it really bothered me when you talked about we need to go back and talk about our weaknesses. He said, that's not what leaders do. Leaders deal from strength, and you always show the strong side. So he went into this insecure tirade of a dysfunctional person who needs therapy. But anyway. And so I smile for a while, and I try to accommodate him a little bit, and then finally it's time to hello. So I put my arm around him. I said, sir, I think you're operating under a false assumption. Of course, now he's what do you mean false assumption? What do you mean false assumption? I said, I think you assume that your people don't know your weaknesses. I said, trust me. They already know them. They know what you're not good at. Trust me. The reason I want you to express it to the people is so that when you tell them that you know the weaknesses, it'll make them feel so much better because they'll look at each other and say, oh, he knows. He knows. We don't have to tell him. Well, what I have found about approachable people is, yes, they can talk about their weaknesses as easily as they can talk about their strengths. And number 6, the willingness to forgive easily and ask forgiveness. David Augsburger wrote, my goodness, since nothing we intend is ever faultless, and nothing we attempt ever without error, and nothing we achieve without some measure of finitude and fallibility we call humanness, we are all saved by forgiveness. How true that is. Number 7, authenticity. Be authentic, and security is the foundation for authenticity. No question about it. When people are looking for a person to be authentic, there has to be a sense of security for them to be that way. Note, approachability is the responsibility of the one in authority. In other words, if you're the one in authority, you're the one who should make yourself approachable to others. You already, perhaps because of title or position, already intimidate them. So you're the one that has to step down and walk slowly through the crowds and make sure that you're approachable.